Let's talk keys. And no, not those types of keys. These types of keys. So, here's your old hub. And we can see that notch in the middle. That's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be nice and straight all the way through. And here's the key. I think I showed it before. Whoops. That's how easy it is to lose these things. I recently just lost one in the bottom of my engine. So, I'll show you the crankshaft here. The crankshaft, if I can get a good look at it from underneath here, I don't know if I can. Crankshaft. Let's see if the lighting will adjust. But that's where the key goes. And it has, man, it is really wiggled in there quite a bit, and this space is a little bigger than it should be. So you take the half moon and the part that is the half moon goes up into your crankshaft, and then the flat part is jutting out, and that's what you take your hub and gently slide it over. I wasn't so gentle, and I dropped it into my engine. There's your whole valve train, and there's the bottom of your motor, your oil pan. This thing was at the bottom of the oil pan. It had made its way all the way back to like here. That's a no-go. Talked to an old guy. He said, worked on cars from the 60s, and he said, well, you could just leave it down there. I said, no, that's not how I'm doing it. You're rolling the dice on blowing your motor. So I had to pop the new seal off, and then I was thinking, there's nothing else I could do. I got to take the oil pan all the way off, and the oil pans on this car are just terrible. I mean, you see the steering rack here and the whole, golly, I mean, I just can't even imagine. That old guy also said, instead of taking all this stuff off, he'd take the engine mounts, jack the motor up, and then drop the pan that way, which they could have done on this car. I'm not sure how they did it. Either take the bottom off, take the stuff out, or jack up the motor. I'm not sure which way they did it, but anyways, couldn't get it with any conventional tools. Called Anthony over at Matco Tools, and got this puppy that just saved me at least $1,000. I mean, that's every bit of $1,000. This thing just saved me. And you can bend it and stretch it, and it's small enough and skinny enough, and bink, there's the new one that was dropped into my oil pan, and I got it. So in hindsight, the problem was I had taken the hub and the harmonic balancer and my supercharger pulley, and I wanted this thing hard on there, so I had it on the workbench, got it on there, and the only way to get it on there is to connect it to the hub. So I had this whole piece that I was trying to gingerly slide over and guide that Woodruff key in that slot. And if you don't guide it perfectly, and you just got a little notch right there, guess what? You just shoved it right into your engine. So I will worry about this. Will be an afterthought. This is the most important thing, is getting this thing on there with the Woodruff key, and making sure that this thing is on there, and that might there's a little slop in the key or whatever, but it's not going to shoot out once you've got this hub over that half moon. You're good. I think over time, it'll warp and it'll do stuff like that, but BMW is great. I mean, they make sure that the hub takes the abuse. Not so much the crankshaft, even though the crankshaft's a little warped. It's not too bad. But anyways, yeah, that is the priority. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'll pack it with bearing grease, put the key in there, right? And then I think I'll get a flathead and I'll stick it behind. And I'll also, you know what? I'll also take a paper towel or something and lay it just underneath the underneath side there, so that once I slide it over, okay, I can just pull it out and it'll be fine. But while you're first guiding it in there, paper towel, tape it up, something, get a flathead behind there and support it, and then stick your face as close to that as you possibly can. And I've got to squeeze my head in between that transmission fan, whatever, cooler, whatever that is, and this hub, put my eyeball right on it and have that flathead behind there and just make sure I gingerly get that thing started. That's the way to do it, especially when it's been warped out a little bit. So yeah, got to get a new crankshaft seal. It's now going to be lucky number 3, and stay tuned. Supercharger to arrive soon.